Hi guys, it's Tamara from Etcetera's, and I'm back with a fun spool knitting project. Guess what? This is the project today. Can you believe it? Dun, da, da. I made this sweater on this spool knitter. I'm pretty amazed with myself, if you can't tell already. It was super fun, super easy, and I'm really excited to share the how-to with you. So keep on watching and learn how to make your own sweater. Have fun! Okay, hi guys, here we are in the studio, and I'm going to show you how to make this fabulous sweater on your spool knitter. To start, I'm going to show you, I have all of my pieces knitted. I've got two pieces that look like this that are for the body, and then I've got two smaller pieces that look like this, and that's for the sleeves. So before we start, I'm going to show you, this is the wool that I used. It's Vanna White and this is 3.5 ounce, 100 grams in this skein, so that gives you an idea of the weight. It's just a very normal sort of, it's not super woolly and it's not really thin, it's just normal. So that's what I'm using. So if you're using a thicker, nubbier wool, then you might need to cut back on your stitches or whatever. If you're using a maybe like a nice fine Angora or something like that, then you might have to add stitches. So it just depends on what type of wool you're using. As well, I'm making what I think would be considered an extra small probably. So if you're larger than an extra small, you'll need to add stitches in your spool knitter. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about these pieces that I've made. And now, as you can see, like I just showed you, I had to make my spool knitter quite large, and I'm really lucky because I can just add pieces and I can make it as big as I need. Now if you're using a homemade spool knitter, you might not be able to do that, although there are ways to do that. My friend Haley out in Edmonton, hello, made a wonderful little spool knitter out of cardboard, and if you have a great big box, you can make a giganto spool knitter if you really want to. If you don't want to do that, and you just have a smaller one, then think about using pieces and just having like a seam down the center or squares that you put together or whatever. Don't be worried if it doesn't look just like mine. It doesn't have to. Just use your imagination and come up with something fabulous of your own. So if you want it to look like mine though, here are the measurements. So for the body, this is 50 stitches long, or 50 rows I guess it would be. 50 rows by 42 stitches around. And so that's this great big piece. So you can see I had to do some experimenting because this looks like I could make the whole sweater, you know, all around me and it would fit my whole body. But once you take it off the spool knitter, it shrinks up. It sort of pulls itself together. So actually that great big piece is just for one side of my body. So make sure you know, do a little bit of experimenting. Now for the oh, and I guess I should tell you, it measures approximately 18 inches across when it's lying flat, and I'm going to sneeze, and 22 inches long. And so again, you just make yours to fit your body. Now, sorry, I know my camera sort of zooms in and out on its, or not zooms, it focuses on its own, and my table's a little shaky, so I'm really sorry. I hope I'm not giving anybody motion sickness here. I'm going to try to be a little bit more careful about my movement. So now the sleeves. The sleeves measure, let's see here, what I ended up doing is taking out these little sections, and I had a piece like this for my sleeves. And that ends up being 32 stitches and 49 stitches long. So really absolutely no rhyme or reason to this. I just measured it against my arm to see approximately how long it should be. And you know, truth be told, I think I went a little bit too long. I got carried away and I didn't stop spool knitting in time. But if you do, you can just roll your sleeve up if you want to, or you can pull a couple of rows if you really, really need to. But that's 49 rows, and so yours, maybe you'll do, you know, I think what I started out wanting to do a 3/4 length sleeve, but you know, then I thought it's so flippin' cold here. It's freezing cold here. It's minus 25 today, and we're still 2 weeks, that's Celsius by the way, we're still 2 weeks from the first day of winter, so I'm not really a happy camper. So I'm looking for something to, you know, really wrap myself up in and be warm in. So that's why these sleeves are so long. Anyways, so this measures about, when it's laying flat, it measures about 12 inches across and about 22.5 inches long. So there you go. So those are the measurements. Now, we're going to put all of these pieces together to make a great sweater. So what I want you to start out with is just your front and back piece. And you're going to put them, you know, wrong sides together. One is stretched out, but anyways. And like a long rectangle. And then at the top, I want you to stitch these two sides. And then this hole that ends up being in the middle, that's your neck hole. So make sure you don't come in so tight that you can't get your head through there. Make sure you can get your head in. Now, you may want to make something that's kind of sassy and have it fall off your shoulder. So in that case, just come in, you know, you're going to use your extra wool and just, you know, lace it in here. This doesn't have to be too fancy. Just lace it in and connect these two pieces. So like I said, if you want something a little sassy, you just come in maybe, I don't know, I'd say 2 inches on each side, or maybe 2 inches on one side and 4 inches on the other, so it falls nicely. If you want more of a boat neck, I would say come in about 4 to 5 inches on each side. If you want it closer, like I said, just make sure you can get your head through there. That's the most important thing. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll be right back, and I'm going to show you how to put the rest of it together. Okay guys, I've got my two shoulders sort of stitched together. Can you see it starting to come together now? This is the neck hole. Now I want you to grab one of your sleeves, and you're going to stitch it on the same way, and you're just going to align it right over here. So just center it and stitch it on, and I'm going to come back because I know I'm making somebody motion sick out there with my camera like this. I'm making myself motion sick actually. So I want you to stitch both those sleeves on and then come back here, and I'm going to show you the last step, but I'm sure you've figured it out by now. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, you got all your pieces together? It should look something like this with the sides open. So now, all you have to do is sew all the way down your sleeve and all the way down your side, and you should end up with something that looks like a sweater. I can tell already though, you know what, my sleeves are way too long. I'm going to have very cozy little hands. So I'm going to sew them all the way down, and then I'm going to turn them back and make a cuff, I think, probably. And hopefully that will look presentable. And then think about on your sides, you may want to keep at the very bottom, keep the little bit open on the bottom, and then it's sort of more like a tunic, I guess. Now obviously, you need to wear a tank top or camisole or something underneath this, because I just did a regular old, just plain knit stitch, because this is just an experiment for me. I still don't know if this is going to work, but hopefully this is all going to work out and look good. But you can do any stitch. You could, if you do a thicker wool and you do like a knit and purl and you create some ridges, well, you'll probably still need to wear something underneath it, but it will create some more texture and some variety, and it won't be so plain looking. But anyways, I'm going to go and do a lot of stitching, and I'll be back, and hopefully this is all going to work out. See you in a little bit. Okay guys, here it is. What do you think? Can you believe it? I made a sweater on my spool knitter. I'm pretty amazed with myself, actually. And it took me, you know, well, off and on it took me about a week, but didn't need to take that long. Probably could have done it in a day if I put my mind to it. If I had been using knitting needles, something even this simple would have taken me months probably, and it would have looked horrendous. It never would have fit, that's for sure. So I'm pretty excited about my new sweater, and it's warm. It's very cozy. So you can see there's my, that's how too long I made my sleeves. So think about that when you're making yours. Remember, I think I had used about 49 or 50 rows. So you might want to cut back to about maybe 39, 38 if you want to keep it even, a normal number. You know, under 40 rows probably, depending on the length of your arms. But this is it, and I might even wear it to work tomorrow. So I hope you had fun, and maybe you'll make your own sweater on your spool knitter, or you make one for somebody for Christmas even. I think I'm going to make another one, and maybe I'll give it away as a gift. Maybe I'll keep it for myself. So anyways, hope you had fun. Thanks so much for watching, and come on over to etceterise.blogspot.ca or .com or whatever for lots more projects. And if this is your first time watching one of my spool knitting videos, there's loads more over at the website, or at the blog, sorry, that goes through how to make your spool knitter, how to do the basic stitch, how to do a purl stitch, some other very simple and easy projects, just like this one was very simple and easy. So thanks so much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!